Okay, welcome back. This is Enter Talk Show. With Miss Smith Charira, and our guest today is Mr. Macmillan. Mr. Macmillan, welcome back to the conversation.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, so we were talking about strategies that we can put across, that we can bring in in order to equip the youth for Vision 2063 and any other plans, future plans that definitely the youth are going to carry on. So you talked about talking about issues like we're doing here.
Yes.
So you said if we can only create more spaces like these ones,
Yes.
and maybe do things like these ones more, so that people get chance to talk about the issues and things. Do you have anything else or any other things to add to that, or go to the next step?
I think previously I did mention about campaigns.
Yes, campaign. Yeah.
So I'll give a small example of what we could do. You've seen that with certain organizations, they have different ways to raise money for these campaigns, such as for breast cancer.
Exactly.
People have walks for breast cancer. People do donations for breast cancer. But as I said, that's a physical illness. That's something.
It's a physical.
It's a physical illness. It's something that you can see, right?
Yeah.
But with mental illness, it's different. I think we still need these campaigns. We also need to encourage people to be educated in treating mental illness. There's different types of doctors. There's bone doctors.
Yeah.
There's doctors that are now general practitioners. And there's ones that specialize in specifically mental health.
Psychiatrists.
Psychiatrists, yes.
Yeah.
So I think we also need to make such a sphere more attractive for people. For people to see that, okay, it is also something that is not just lucrative abroad, but can also be lucrative here in Malawi. Opening up such as mental health clinics, things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I've always talked to my boss, Kudi. Like, is there something like Department of Counselors in Malawi?
Exactly.
No, because sometimes I think many go so many people at employment, because we have so many counselors in Malawi. I mean, not the professionals, but real professional counselors.
Yes.
I know there is, I think, Malawi Association of Counselors, but I mean, making it as a department.
Yes.
So much so that we can even have the minister.
Exactly.
Of counseling.
Exactly.
And so have all those, like in the hospitals. Yes, we have probably just in other departments. Or
Yes.
But I mean, making it as the main ideal thing.
Exactly.
I think that would be ideal.
Exactly. We look at our friends abroad. They have such an environment. It's something that they've come to understand is so important. When somebody has mental health issues when they're abroad, they can be diagnosed a lot earlier.
Yeah.
And if there's a need for medication, sometimes it has to do with chemicals within the brain.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a misbalance in the chemicals. But abroad, it's something that they can see from an early stage and work on.
It. Yeah. In good time, actually.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure. So it seems like the issue of campaign is campaign about mental health awareness is really good. And I think another thing, because you've already talked about it, I feel like investing more into that.
Yes.
Like, I mean, you talked about the non-government organizations, so that they pump in. You have companies. I mean, in Malawi, you have companies. I know there are companies in Malawi, or they do social responsibilities. They contribute towards my football tournament leagues and all that. Mental health, this is another space where you should.
Exactly.
I mean, we should be getting high profile spaces where people can just feel free and talk about their issues.
Exactly.
Maybe before we close, I mean, there is something that I've always wondered about people in the positions, in different positions in the government, or it can be in NGOs. people of higher positions, who do they talk to about mental health issues? When you're choosing a president, who do they talk to? When you are elected as a leader, right? How many people know about mental health at that state? When everybody is clapping out for you, like, bro, you've made it. How many people know about your mental health? What would you say about that?
It's what we've been talking about, you know. Even if you, as you said, the president himself,
Yeah.
going from trying to become the president and actually becoming the president, there's so many challenges that you face, right?
Yeah.
And those challenges, they take a toll on you mentally as well.
Exactly.
So even be it example, football players. Sometimes you hear football players been injured because they've been playing so often.
Exactly.
But you've been thinking so often, you've been strategically working so often. Your mental could be injured as well. Now, fine, whatever you've gone past the election stage, you've become the president or whatever it be. Now, within that period of being the president, it's not an easy job.
Exactly.
There's different challenges that even him himself, he may be facing. You know, we may look at him and just start saying, "Oh, could it be mafuta? Hey, could it be forex? Could it be jan?" But those are challenges that he has to face. You know, we might not even know, but mentally, maybe something going on.
I cannot sleep. Being a president, I don't think I can have much time to sleep because I mean there's just a lot of things. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, could it be to school? How am I going to do it?
Exactly.
Now this is the person already is looking at everyone in the country.
Exactly.
And international relations.
Exactly.
Balancing up what education wufunika yan. Ari wufunika mankwala. Umana uwa upunzira banja school. So balancing up what would mange school block. We should have mankwala in Sibala.
Exactly. Now even over there we've only mentioned Zamankwala, the public.
Yeah.
You remember that he also has a family.
Yes. He has a family to take care of.
He has a wife, he has children. How are they being affected as well? Knowing that okay, our father here, he's also got something he's suffering from. You know, it's I think it's something that is really underlooked. You know, a lot of people, maybe he's fortunate enough to have a therapist, but a lot of people look down upon therapy. But I feel like that's something that is very important, something that will help you understand yourself as a person.
Actually, about therapy, that's something that I really wanted us to talk about also because you've mentioned it. At what point in time should you engage with a therapist? Is it the time when the mental health stuff is very aggressive? Is it that because sometimes we may look okay, we may drive pushy cars and everything, and not knowing what's happening, you know? What is the specific time? What do you think is the right time for someone to face a therapist? Or a counselor, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah, a counselor. What is the best time?
I'll still go back to my previous conversation, to the previous one of the previous points I'd given you, to say it's similar to your physical health.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may not be being, you may not feel sick, but you still just go to see a doctor.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you should wait until you're completely mentally drained or mentally ill or out of it for you to now start saying that, let me go start seeing a therapist or let me go start seeing a counselor, let me go start seeing a psychiatrist. But then it might even be too late, right? Certain damages may have already been done.
Exactly.
So I think it should be something that people should consider regularly. You know, even if it's once that you get it done, at least they can be able to say, okay, you've come, you've seen me once, but these are the issues that I've spotted. Now you know, okay, maybe these are issues I should work on. You know? So I would encourage it to be done at any point in time. It's never too early, it's never too late. As some of these things we're born with them, some of these things we develop over time. But I feel like I wouldn't say there's ever a right time. I feel like any time is the right time.
Any time is the right time.
Yes.
Okay. This is Ain't a Talk Show with me, Smith Chalila, and our guest today, Macmillan. You know, he has really talked about some very important things like you facing a counselor or having your sessions with a counselor. It doesn't have to be when when things are so aggressive, when you cannot even hold anything in your hands, and like when you're shaking. No, I mean it has to be regularly. So even when you feel like you're okay, that's still the right time for you to meet a counselor or a therapist, because you also mentioned about the past experience. We have so many things that we experienced when we were young, and they're stored in the subconscious. So there are moments when they just come, and they can influence things like anger issues, things like abuse. You can as well do more harm to your friends, and not even knowing about it, not even knowing why you're being so heartless to people.
Absolutely.
I've known people who are so aggressive, and after some time, and I know, like, oh yeah, I think these anger issues. This my friend faced so many things. Yeah. So as we wind up, there's things to do with stigma.
Yes.
So much jana would think mundu when you're in a mental when you have some mental problems.
Yes.
People would tend to judge you for something like, and anasura jamba, and so people don't come up.
Yes.
People don't want to open up because it's like you look at them and you judge them. What would you say when things of mental health and stigma in that relation?
It's a good question. Thank you for asking such a question, because it's something that everybody needs to understand. It's a reality. You can't always just try to blame it on Jamba or something like that. And when I'm sana suitable Jamba, Jamba just sana jone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? You don't even know what is Jamba Juma. But they still suffer from that mental illness.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's the right thing to say to judge. Not everybody will understand that mental illness.
Yeah.
It's a difficult way to put it, but I feel like it's more of us guys educating ourselves as well. But see, if we're being honest, more fire band and attendees.
Yeah. Of course.
We've made internet something accessible.
Accessible. Yeah.
Going on Google doesn't take 1 GB from your phone. Going and just researching, just reading a little bit that, okay, how does this affect me? And you're doing it at the comfort of your own phone. Nobody will judge you.
Nobody will judge you.
To educate yourself. I feel like we need to promote that self-education on mental health, because you never know that by you educating yourself, you could be helping your friend. As you said, we are anger issues. But had you not known that mental health, you'd have not understood that maybe it's mental health. Rather than just saying, "What I want to do, I want to." It's not a normal thing. It's suffering from something internally. So I think that's how I could answer your question.
There are people, like there are students or kids in schools, those who feel like they're not heard by anyone around them,
That's true.
the teachers or anyone, and so they shift trust from the people close to them, and so they put their trust into something else.
Yes.
What would you say about students who feel like they're not heard? What would be your advice? So they should either go to adults, or if you feel like there's something that you can as well talk to this that you can as well share for these students to understand. What would it be?
Being a student, it's a difficult time, because there's so many different pressures that you're facing. Your examinations, peer pressures, some people, maybe it can be monetary pressure that they're facing. So it's difficult to find somebody who you can comfortably talk to. But the worst thing you can do is not try to push it to substance abuse, which is what a lot of students try to do.
Yeah.
Most schools, for that particular reason, have counselors. Yeah. Most schools have counselors.
Some schools, maybe high schools.
Yeah, high schools.
and more advanced ones.
Yeah, more advanced ones.
Yeah.
But we're in Malawi, a lot of the public may not have access to such things. But what I would encourage is have somebody mature enough that you can talk to, right? It may not be a friend, because sometimes your friends, you may not be fully comfortable opening up everything. It could be maybe even a trusted uncle, or even just somebody who you look up to, who you say you can go and speak to in confidence. You say, okay, I need help in ABCDF, I need some guidance in ABCDF. So it's something that I can advise to students in schools at this current point in time.
I think
another advice I would give to schools in particular.
Yeah, in the schools in particular.
Is create a safe space for students as well.
Yeah. I think you're right, because I'm looking at, even now you talked about the awareness campaigns. I feel like even as the Enter Talk Show, as a mental health platform, I think we have a role where in a day we can just have good communication with principals,
Definitely.
teachers,
Definitely.
and say we just want to have an awareness,
Definitely.
to talk to these students and let them know that there is like, it's more like partnership.
Yes.
Partnering with the schools to
Yes.
say the students need to know what a safe space is.
Exactly.
And if the schools don't know what a safe space is, then it's good that we bring in some other stakeholders to say, I think this is a nice school, but we feel like you need this for your students.
Yes.
So it's not just about money making, but it's also for the mental well-being of the students.
Absolutely.
So I think as Enter Talk Show, we should really think about that. It will really be a very nice, because people definitely watch this.
Definitely.
So it's also good that we take this further.
Absolutely.
All right, no,
Absolutely.
Mr. Man, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for all the wisdom.
Thank you as well.
Really learned a lot.
No, thank you for the time, the platform.
No, thank you so much. So as we wind up, people, Mr. Macmillan manages business, and I think it would really be nice for us just to hear from him this last 2 minutes, to hear from him what the business is, where is it, because actually where we're shooting right now, this is the place where he manages business. So we should really hear from him what they do, and yeah, we can come here and enjoy what they serve. Sure. Maybe we should give you that time also to say something.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
I want to start by saying that I also want to say thank you for dedicating yourself to promoting mental health.
Thank you.
I feel like that in its own, to realize that there's a gap and people really need to be educated on that is a blessing on its own.
Thank you.
So I wish you all the best in this journey. And I hope that we can continue to grow with this journey. I hope I can support as well.
Exactly. We're so humbled.
Thank you so much. So yes, my name is Macmillan. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a CEO. I run about 4 businesses. I've got hair and beauty school.
Oh yeah.
It's called the Hair and Beauty Academy in Lilongwe here in Kawale.
Okay.
I've got a garden. Well, I'll call it a garden restaurant.
Okay, garden restaurant.
A different type of vibe that we're trying to go for. This is where we currently are now.
Yeah.
So even here, if you've seen it, it's a garden vibe.
Yeah, it is a garden.
It tries to promote that peace of mind, nothing too hectic or anything like that. I've got an event center. I think it's out along Salima Road as well.
Okay.
And then we've also got a spa. So the spa is also more like for relaxing. It does help as well with the mental health.
Exactly. So, it's actually a very good aspect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes you can feel really tensed. I've seen actually a lot of people come here in suits wanting just to get maybe a 1-hour massage.
That's so nice.
Just to unwind, because I know that
there's really
a lot of tension that happens within the day.
Okay.
Absolutely.
No, so how can people find you? Maybe you can give us your phone numbers or your contact numbers, your emails, where you are.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So for me, you can find me mainly Facebook, Instagram. My name is Macmillan Chifundo Mlombwa. On Facebook, my Instagram is Macmillan Chifundo. I think mainly there. My LinkedIn is the same name.
It's the same name.
I think mainly on social medias.
Okay.
You can find me from there. I'm quite active. I'm sure that this podcast as well, you'll
Yeah, yeah.
probably find it on my social media.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's where you can find it.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
So that means all these comments, rather all this information is gonna be uploaded, and you definitely be able to check. I will also put all this information that is talked about the Oasis in the comment section. So you'll be able to watch this on YouTube, Ain't the Talk Show. That's our official page, as well as on TikTok. It's the same, as well as on Instagram. It's the same. So please follow Enter Talk Show for more mental health and social issues discussions. You are more welcome. If you feel like you have something to share, this is a platform, this is a heading place. Talk to us. We are always available that we can link and set a time, our time aside so that we can have time to talk about these issues. Our confidentiality is one of the things that we really don't take for granted. So anything that you feel like, no, I don't want to talk about this, won't really force you to do it because we know what mental health is all about. So thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned and keep updated. Thank you so much.